remember where you were 3 or 4 years ago or 5 years ago. Like, really, it's late. It's midnight. So I'm not asking you to have reflection now. But tomorrow, as bad as tonight hurts, keep in mind that you've got a team next year that's going to be a preseason top 3 team, maybe preseason number 1. You're the only team in college football that's been in the semifinals 2 years in a row. Sarkisian just signed the number 1 recruiting class in the country. This is a football program with a million more things going for it in the right direction, in the right way, than it has things going in the wrong direction in the wrong way. For all of the red zone, for all of the play calling, for all of the nitpicks, it is a program that the only thing that didn't happen tonight is Texas didn't kick the door down and put themselves on the level of Ohio State and Georgia. That's it. They are still a rung below those 2 programs. And moving forward, the goal remains. You got to knock that door down. That's the goal. You have to get back. You have to do what Michigan did last year, which is galvanize yourself over the disappointment of a semifinal loss and let that be the war cry, the rallying cry for a team that's going to be expected to do really, really well. Texas will be back in the playoffs next year. They will. Sports Opinion Show is ridiculous if he thinks that they won't. They will go into next year with one of the 3 most talented teams in the country. And they'll be back. And who knows? Maybe Sark's just one. I mean, we've seen it, right? You think about a guy like Andy Reid. You're the guy that can't win the big game until you win your first one. And then these things have a way of like potentially stacking up. Texas will get another chance. And I think that when you wake up tomorrow, don't act like you're a fan of the Texas A&M or Oklahoma football programs. You're not. You're not. You're not. You just had one of the best seasons in the history of your school. You're the last SEC team standing in your first year of the SEC. Know who you are. It's okay to be mad about tonight. I get it. But know who you are, appreciate who you are, because you're going to have people in other schools try to tear you down and make your weekend worse and try to make the offseason worse by somehow painting this as the worst thing that's ever happened, an indictment on where Texas is, and it's not. The indictment is Texas isn't yet Ohio State or Georgia. They're not. Those are the 3 losses they picked up this year. They're to the best and most talented teams in the 2 most talented teams in college football are the 2 teams that Texas lost to, at least on paper going into the season. Chad, my super blue chip rankings. Ohio State was 1, Georgia was 2, Texas was 3. Yep. And Texas lost to 2 and 1. Next year, Texas might be in the top 2. So there's just so much good going on. Like, remember that when you put your head on the pillow tonight, you're upset because your team didn't essentially win the Super Bowl.
12-15. Yeah. Along the lines of Catch, though, I think about all the teams that I've covered since I've been here, and the last 2 years has been an amazing 2-year stretch that just about the majority of programs in America would kill to have. Just the overwhelming majority of programs would kill to have. And so I think Catch is correct. Like you're as a Texas fan, you're going to hear shit from A&M fans. You're going to hear shit from Oklahoma fans because they're going to be excited about something that happened that they were not able to do. Right. And so they'll look for ways to kind of tear you down. But, when you go to the Final Four in basketball, no one says you had a failure of a season. Everybody understands that you had one hell of a season. And if you're able to make it to the championship game, that's even better. But no one says the number 4 team sucked. And that was just a failure. No one said when Duke makes it to the Final Four, that was a failure. North Carolina made the Final Four, that was a failure. So I think, there's something to be said of it while it's disappointing in the moment. I think this has been a good season for Texas. I think there's still a lot of sustainability here. Sark has proven that this is not one and done, but we've seen this back-to-back years. double-digit seasons. And then there's stuff to look forward to because the transfer portal is going to be there. There's going to be we'll see who does or doesn't come back, right? And then next year, or I guess it's this year, starts the year of Arch. And this is the thing that everyone's been waiting for. And trust me, the hype, the excitement, whatever you thought it was going into this year will be even more magnified. So right now, I get it. You're down. But when the Arch hype starts when we start winter conditioning and you start getting your Arch reports, trust me, you're going to be pumped up and excited once again. So I think no matter what, they were able to get as far as they were able to get. I think it's a fantastic season. Nothing to be ashamed of. Ohio State is a effing good team, and Texas is one as well. But hey, to the victor goes the spoils. But I just want to say I think it's a hell of a season, and it's sure as hell. I can tell you this: Ketch and I have done shows that are going into midnight for far worse results, for far shittier years. So there's nothing to be upset about.